take my Claritin D.
Let me know if it's too much.
All right, so just to recap, we analyzed the skin, we asked what their routine is, and check for the skin elasticity, dehydration, and then we make the assessment if what type of treatment we're going to do. But normally, like I guess in my case, because I'm trying to start off just doing express facials and dermaplaning, they would. You suggest that they book a consultation first, or I could do
anywhere you go, even if they do a consultation. Like say if you do like I'll get clients that'll do like an online consultation. Even if they do an online consultation, it's still when they come in person, it may be something different. So say like for instance, say they come in, they want to get a dermaplane facial. We can go over the dermaplane facial, and then I'll explain to them, like, you know, you can get any facial that you want, long as it's not any contraindications. But the thing is, I suggest you do this. And then maybe, like how with you, I would say I wouldn't start off with a dermaplane, even though you initially said you want to get one. I wouldn't suggest that for your skin type at first. So it just depends. During the consultation when the client comes, you have more of an idea. Because, again, remember what I was saying yesterday, that it's not always the skin type, but the condition. So even though a person says, you know, I have oily skin, they come to you and they're in a different condition. You have to treat that condition first before you treat the skin type.
And the condition is what, like the acne? Or
it can be acne. It can be acne. It could be dry skin.
Did you say, what was it?
Rosacea.
Rosacea.
Well, rosacea, they're going to always have that. But it can be a different condition depending on what stage they're at with that. That's their skin type, what they have going on with their skin. So we want to treat it as if it's skin that has rosacea. But the problem is with the condition is that the skin may appear to be dry and dehydrated, but the person really has oily skin. Like we were saying with you earlier, you were saying, I may be doing too much. So we have to make sure that we're paying attention to the condition and the actual skin type. So with her, like asking her questions, normally I would say, well, how does your skin feel throughout the day? Do you normally feel oily, dry? How do you feel with your skin? How does your skin normally feel throughout the day?
Can I say neither?
Neither? You don't feel oily or dry? So you feel pretty normal?
Yeah.
Okay, so then she probably has normal skin type. I'll pay attention to her skin to see. Now, with us just analyzing her skin, and she tells you that her skin is normal, what would you say to her? What do you think?
Looking at it, it seemed to be pretty normal. If you know, maybe she could use some type of exfoliating. So this dermaplane treatment would be a good start.
So that would be her condition, right? Because her skin type normally is normal. She has normal skin. So everything she's telling us seems like you have some enlarged pores in some certain areas. Then you have maybe like some fine lines in certain areas. That's fine. That just has to do with your condition, meaning you haven't exfoliated your skin. As she told us, I don't exfoliate. So once I exfoliate, your skin is going to be beautiful. You know, even though you have normal skin, you're just going to enhance it at this point. Because she doesn't really have any issues. I mean, we could do some spot treatments, but rather than that, she doesn't really have too much going on. And then I'll do, just because we'll do like a little eye treatment too. Okay, so you can go ahead and start your first cleanse.
Are you allergic to latex?
No.
What would you do? Do you have like a consent form or something to have people fill out for all facials or dermaplaning?
You could specify a dermaplaning one, but typically if you start off with a client, you want to actually have them fill out a full facial consultation form. Dermaplaning is a service that you offer on top of it, but you said there's not really too many downsides of the dermaplaning, but you want to make sure with the facial. But even though they do the consultation form, like I said, they still may forget things or not put it, you know, so you have to sometimes say it again. Just like how you asked her about the latex on the form, she may have forgot, oh, I am allergic to latex, you know. Sometimes I do get breakout. Then you say, okay. So it's always good to kind of repeat stuff. Are you allergic to anything? I always just say, are you allergic to anything? Okay, nothing at all? Okay. So I just say it again.
But if they do say they are allergic to, I guess, dairy, like you said, or anything, how do I go about revising the treatment or the service? Because, you know, somebody's probably always allergic to something, and I'm just, you know, not aware of everything, you know what I mean? And knowing how to not dismiss it when they say, oh, yeah, I'm allergic to peanuts, or oh, okay, you know what I'm saying? I guess just being familiar with my products.
Right. That's what. So it takes time. You know, I mean, if you're just doing facial services, it's kind of hard to say immediately, like I hear an ingredient and I know what that ingredient means. But that's why I said there's a difference with people that actually pay attention to skin and people are just doing facials. If you're really passionate about it in skincare, you're going to look up every product, because when a client tells you, oh, I take this medicine, you want to know immediately, oh, you can't use that with that medicine. So everybody's not going to know that if you don't research it. So, you know, then it comes with getting the client. You may have a client come in that tells you about a medicine you never heard of.
Right.
So once you, let me look, because I'll say it in a minute, tell me what products you use. I always say, what products do you use? If you tell me the stuff that I've heard before, oh, you know, I use Cetaphil, or I use this, or I use Dermalogica, I know, because I work with people with Dermalogica, I use it myself, so I know what can happen. You get a new product, I'll tell them, I'm not familiar with it. You know, just be honest, I'm not familiar with it, so let me go ahead, go on my phone, let me look it up, see what's in it. Okay, you're fine. Or, you know what, this is not good, because there is like glycolic inside of your product. I don't want to over exfoliate you, because there was 1% glycolic in this product. We'd rather be safe. Give me 7 days, and then we could do this facial. So that's all. Just be familiar with the ingredients, but, you know, have the consultation and the conversation with your client, because that's the only way you're gonna really know. You don't know until, I mean, I've researched medicines and products I never knew about. That somebody would think that I was a pharmacist before, because sometimes when I hear certain key words inside, let me look that up and make sure. That's all.
So you said
Glycolic.
Yeah, that you cannot. If they have 1% or anything, you don't want to mix it with any of the products that
I don't want to, any product that has an acid base at all, I don't want to use it when I'm doing an exfoliation method myself. So sometimes that's why I ask them what their products. Now, glycolic, you can sometimes, just as, depending on what type of facial, but say if I was doing a chemical peel and someone told me they were doing glycolic, then no. If you're doing a microderm, not a microderm, if you're doing Dermaplane, there's some, depending on like the percent or what kind of, sometimes they'll tell you is glycolic, then they tell you the product, like, oh, I use what's a store brand, something store brand, you're just like, no, there's not the glycolic. Yeah, well, just some of the, you know, some stuff that you get, you know, Sephora and stuff like that, we're looking like it's not really any glycolic in there, so you're good. But then, you know, those that have it and that's actually the main ingredient, I wouldn't work on you with. Glycolic is, you can use it, that's because it's one of the safe acids, because you can use it on a lot of facials. Like today, I'll see, we might spot treat her with a little bit of glycolic on those little areas there. It's not really aggressive. Okay.
All right. And this was the cleanser.
And then with the cleanser, what kind of cleanser do we normally use for the Dermaplane?
Oil base?
Yep, oil base. Yep.
Oh, I'm wiping that off later.
Just add it with the water and just apply it to the face. Go ahead and remove it. Remember, stop at the temple. That's okay. I'll get you some more.